Hey, it's Ike with Fly Rides, and today I wanted to chat a little bit about the Tern Orox and give you a little overview of this new build that Tern released about, I think, last summer sometime. It's been a minute since we've done a review on Tern, and we've been with them a long time, basically since we started Fly Rides almost a little over 15 years ago. And but this is a bike I've had my eyes on for a little while, primarily because we've got a boy and I wanted to be able to go bike packing with. And so I decided to pick up one from Tern for myself, and I've been riding around. I thought I'd give you guys my my feelings about it. Yeah, let's step right into it. Just to kind of give you an overview of the two models. It comes in two build sets basically. So you have the S12, which is an XT 12-speed, Shimano XT 12-speed, and then you have the roll-off 14-speed over here. This is a little bit more of a premium option, a little bit of a step down. I would say both of them are fairly premium builds though, overall. This is the bike that I've been most excited about in a long time, and it's just fun. It's a whole new access to a new lifestyle. You know, if you're interested in getting out there and really getting into the backcountry, whether you're by yourself or you know with your family. You know, I think it's a really great vehicle to allow you to do that. I think Tern's done a great job with the design and the configurations of it, and I think I think it was a good move. They're going to actually bring in a whole new customer with this bike that's going to, you know, open up a whole door to a new type of lifestyle that they can do with it. I think one of the coolest things that Tern does, they've done this from day one, is they make great accessories. They make accessories sometimes specific to that model or to the whole platform, but they don't just make a bike and then say roll with it, you know, and figure it out. They make a bike and then they think about what is the lifestyle that person would do with that bike, and then what are the accessories that would complement that lifestyle. So first up, I think one of the things I would say about the Tern Orox is initially you look at this bike and you think, wow, that looks like a really heavy bike. And yes, it is a little bit heavier than your average, you know, mountain EMTB. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised. It's not that bad. It's not too heavy. I can pick it up myself and load it up on the quad rack. It's planted really well. So when I'm riding with my boy on it, I feel really secure and safe with him. I don't feel squirrely. I've had other bikes where we have the Yep seat in the back that ride too high or something about it just feels kind of squirrely. This one feels super solid, and he loves riding on it. It's very cushy because you can deflate these tires, I think down to 5 PSI, up to 30 PSI if you really want to go hard on it. But those, you know, the lower PSI, you can really get a soft, cushy ride, which is almost kind of like built-in suspension a little bit for it. Yeah, so I think initially, you know, overall, I love it. I'm a really huge fan of this bike. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun on it this summer. He basically gets home every day from daycare and wants to get in there and go for a ride. You know, and even building it up, I could tell that Tern was really thoughtful about how they packaged everything. It was just like really, really well done. We deal with a lot of brands, and no knock on our other brands, but I think, you know, it almost had like kind of the feelings of like an Apple. Like when you get an Apple computer, it just feels really well put together and thoughtful. And I think that's what Tern's done with these bikes here. They've created a really thoughtful package. So just to break down kind of some of the tech stuff. So they come basically equipped with the Bosch CX and the smart system on these bikes. They come stock with an 800 watt hour battery. That said, you can purchase another battery from us, and you can run up to 1600 watt hours on this bike. So that's one of the things that I gravitated to about it as well, is the range on it. 1600 watt hours is an incredible amount of range. It's not unfeasible for me to go out probably for 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days on this bike and not burn to their juice. So that's really cool. That's awesome. It really turns it into an adventure bike at that. On this one with the roll-off, if you're not familiar with roll-off is an internal hub using the Gates belt drive. a really great system. It's all internal, not much to go wrong on it. It's a smooth system. I think the best feature about the roll-off is that you can be pretty much at a stop and then gear down without having to gear down before you come to the stop. So if you have a kid or whatever, or something's quick, you know, it's nice to be able to just roll it into like a easier gear and then get going again. So that's had a bit of experience on the roll-off. We did a trip about 4 or 5 years ago in Scotland when the roll-off kind of was coming out, and Recent View was partnering with them on their Super Delight. So we used the roll-off there. And I had I think we did 5 days with that bike, 6 days on the trails there in the Highlands. And it was a great system. The thing I would say about the roll-off is if you are in technical terrain and you need to shift quickly, I think the roll-off has a little bit of a lag on that. But overall, if you're using just gravel roads, dirt, generally bigger dirt roads, not technical terrain, the roll-off is a great feature. Tern designed this like really cool pet carrier that fits right inside this clubhouse. The clubhouse is this is the mini clubhouse. They make a larger one that fits 2 Yep seats. This one would only fit 1 Yep seat. In this case, it's fitting the pet carrier, which is probably one of the best pet carriers I've ever seen. So if you can't go on an adventure without your doggy, then this could be a really great feature for you. Let's see, that's about all the upgrades that he did on this bike. For us over here, we basically upgraded for the front rack. This allows us to basically really take a bit of luggage with us when we go bike packing. We can throw panniers on both sides. It does have the braze-ons if you want to go more the traditional route for bike packing, which is the tubes. So you can definitely do that if you want to. This is just going to give us a little bit more ability to carry more. We added the Yep seat obviously for the boy. It can fit up to 2 Yep seats. And just to make sure everybody's aware, this comes stock. The rear rack, it comes stock on the Tern Orox. It is very solid, it's beefy, it's really well done. I think my favorite thing about it is how big these bolts are. They went with big bolts, something that's not just like chintzy, and did a great job with that. Every Tern Orox comes with this mid pack here, and basically zips down. You can access it actually from both sides. And this is where the additional battery would sit, and then you would still have a little bit of extra room to store, some additional, like whether you got some snacks or a tube, whatever. And then you got these pockets right here to store some nice things. So really great job on that. I like, and then also keep it nice and weathered. Another great thing about the Tern Orox is the saddle and the grips. They went with Ergon. If you've never used Ergon, they're a German company. They do a great job with those touch points. Huge fan of it. I love the saddle they went with. I love the grips they went with. Perfect. Yeah, wouldn't change a thing. It also comes with these integrated lights. You have it on the front and the rear. I did add this mirror to it, so I would recommend that for sure. It comes stock with the Wellgo pedals. These are actually not bad. They're pretty decent Wellgo pedals. They've been around forever, Wellgo, but those are not bad. They're a little heavier. I actually switched out for the 1-Up composites because I like those a little bit more, and they're a little bit lighter. Things I really like about it is you can get a tow hitch for it back here. They make this tow hitch where you can actually bring in, a smaller bike. So as our son gets older, he's not quite ready to ride on his own, but wants to ride with me, we can actually take that front hub and attach it to here, and then he's just got the rear wheel and he can ride along behind me and I can tow him. So that's a cool feature. I think what's cool about this bike, it allows you to expand and grow with it. So with all that being said, a couple things that I would probably do differently, or I would recommend doing differently if you go with this bike. First off is the kickstand. The kickstand is a little narrow. It's not bad. They did a pretty good job, but you can see, here I'm in like kind of rocky, sandy soil. It's a little it wants to give a bit, right? And so that's something you need to be aware of. We actually bumped ours and it went down and the fender popped a little bit. So that's another area. If you don't, one thing you might want to consider when you're building it or having your shop build it is putting some bigger washers on the back side of this fender, and that'll keep, you know, if it goes down, it just will keep the bolts from kind of pulling through. That said, Tern does make some extenders for this kickstand. We plan to get them. I plan to have them for this bike as well. And so I would probably recommend if you decide to go with the Tern Orox, just get the kickstand extenders, because I think that's going to probably help mitigate some of that lacking in stability with the kickstand. Overall, huge fans of the Tern Orox. They knocked it out of the park with this bike. Obviously, we're huge fans of Tern in general, but you know, we bought it for ourselves, for our family. And so I think it's a bike that really has a lot of multi-purpose, and a lot of people can have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, check it out, flyridesusa.com, and let us know if you got any questions or how we can help you. All right, cheers.